And good morning. We are going to start chapter 18 today, and my roosters are crowing again, so you probably hear them in the background, those darned old roosters. We're getting very close to the end of the book. Chapter 18 is a little bit longer, but not too bad. All right, so we're going to continue with objects and shapes. So chapter 18 is solid objects and volume. All right, so we should be at the very beginning of chapter 18, 18.1, surface area. Now that you know how to find the area of various polygons and circles, let's put all that knowledge to use in finding what we call the total surface area. Consider a toaster oven again. What if we want to find the area of all the sides of the toaster oven, the front, the two sides, top, bottom, and back? We could view each side as a rectangle. We could find the area of each rectangle and then add all of that up. When we find the area of all the different sides of a solid, we're referring to it as the total surface area. So total surface area, it equals the area of all the sides of a solid object. Any guesses on how we would find the total surface area of a book? You got it. You would treat each side as a separate rectangle. You'd find the area of each side and then add up all the areas, remembering to include the sides of the book hidden from view too. So that's finding the total surface area. So let's look at the next page, 348, and there's a book up there. Now the surface area of the top, they measured the top of the book. It's 10 by 8.5, which gives you 85 square inches. The bottom is the same as the top, so that's 85 square inches. The surface area of the long side is 25. The long side on the other side is 25. The short side is 21.25, and the other short side is 21.25. Then you add all those up, so the total surface area of the book is 262.5 square inches. Note that you could have used multiplication to make it simpler. 2 times 85, 2 times 25, 2 times 21.25, and then you could add it all up. Now, total surface area is no different than what you've been doing when finding the area. Just apply it to all the different sides or surfaces of an object. Now, why do you need surface area? Well, sometimes we need to find the surface area of just some sides or surfaces of an object. As one example, suppose you're trying to purchase paint for a shed. If you find the surface area of the paintable section, you wouldn't need to include the floor, the barn, or the roof, as you probably wouldn't want to paint those. You'd be able to figure out how much paint to buy. So whether you find the total surface area or just the area of a few surfaces will depend on what you're trying to do. If you only want to paint the side of a shed, for instance, you just want the surface area of that one side. If, on the other hand, you wanted to paint the entire outside of the shed, you'd need to find the surface area of all the paintable areas. So it's easy peasy. So let's look at, now this keeping perspective, it's really interesting. If you want to read it, it just kind of gives you a perspective on area and flight and some of the things that God has given to us there. So if you look at worksheet 18.1A, number 1, number 2, number 3, and 4, you'll be able to use your calculator on those. So, okay. Sorry, my phone making noises. So to answer the questions, you're just given this rectangular prism. It's just a box. So the area of the dotted rectangle, that's the one right there in the front. It's 3 times 2. It would be 6. So the area, 6 square meters, would be the area of the dotted one. Okay. Now, what is the area of the gray rectangle? That's the one over on the other side. Okay. Well, it's 1 meter across the bottom. How tall is it? What's the height? It's 3. So 3 times, so it would be 3 square meters. Okay, does that make sense? All right, so anyway, you're going to find the area. Remember, all of the formulas and such we've used for the area of this and the area of that. And you're just finding the area of, certain shapes. And then when you want to add up the entire surface area of this object, you add them up. So it should be pretty easy for you. Now, if you're on the accelerated schedule, you also need to complete 18.1B, front and back. I'm not going to grade these. It It should be pretty easy, but you've never done this part before, and it's not hard at all, especially if you know how to figure area. We're just figuring the area now of, rather than a flat shape, an actual 3D object. Okay, so if you need any help on any of this, let me know, but otherwise, show me what you've learned in the way of area. Okay, all right, that's all for today.